Welcome everyone to today's live stream of Empyrion, which unfortunately will have to be short today. I've got a music performance in just under an hour that I have to leave for. So it is, we're on a little bit of a time constraint, and apparently I'm still having issues with Streamlabs OBS, deciding that it doesn't want to work with the primary YouTube digest server or the primary Twitch digest server. So I don't know if it actually started the stream and then stopped, but when I tried to stream it failed out again. So apparently they've done something that's causing problems with the digest servers on both services, because I keep having the same problem. But welcome everyone. It is going to still be a fun little stream, I hope. I've tried to get as much as I could done with harvesting out everything around the planet, but I am still short on some resource deposits and short on time this week. 5 videos again kind of put me back, and just other stuff going on held me up. But yeah, we're playing with the Bumblebee today, which is why I thought it'd be funny to make a joke about the new Bumblebee movie trailer that they've got going around. A Bumblebee origin story, and we really know the only Bumblebee we care about is the HLN Bumblebee, Holnar's Bumblebee. And see, a little bit more. I did clear out some more POIs, mainly the what was it? There was a crashed ship. Oh, and as you see, there is Prometheum deposit. I'm having the problem again. That one has one little blob that will not break. There was one, a restroom deposit, that did the same at one point, and I had to actually maneuver around to a different side and hit it from a different point. And then there's another Prometheum deposit that will not completely break. What was it? Crash capital vessel. Yes, tons of supplies from that thing. I got so many thrusters and RCS out of it finally. Works great. Yes, I am not switching to 9.0 Dawn anytime soon, because I've learned my lesson with the experimental. You're always going to have bugs. And until it's in the full, you know, main branch, I am not going to switch. I'm keeping away from experimental right now. Even though I'm sure some people would like to have me go ahead and do experimental, I really don't want to mess with the bugs right now. I'm already having enough bugs with other games. I don't want to experience it in Empyrion any more than I do already, because I really don't want to get soured on Empyrion right now. Oh, I popped a wheelie and I broke the boulder. Bugs are the least of the problems with 9.0. Are you meaning software bugs or the in-game bugs? I always feel like I'm driving through water right there. It's just a really thick, hazy mist, but I always feel like I'm in water. That's like where xenomorph eggs are laid. It's got that same thing. This has got to be like an Aliens reference, because it looks like it's got that same cap over the mist. And it's like, oh yeah, you're going to find a little xenomorph hatchery in there. Rebalancing issues? Well, I know they had to go back. They updated to the new Unity at one point, or were testing it, and then had to revert back because of way too many problems with it. I remember somebody mentioned it for another game as well, saying there's some other developers that had to switch back because of problems with the new Unity version. But I'm assuming you mean rebalancing in this case, more so of either performance rebalancing, or you're talking about maybe some of the mechanics in the game. Did they change some weapons to be way too powerful? Oh, the container changes? Yeah, that's one thing I'm a little concerned about there, is how that's going to work. I've said it, I want to see something where you can integrate, like, transport mechanisms between containers, like we could do in Planet Nomads, because that would just make things so much easier if you could have it where it's all linked together. You don't have to go and manually pull stuff. but it's got to be done the right way. You can see in Planet Nomads, there's lag at times from it. The way it's got to calculate everything tied together. And then the fact that, yeah, they're going to a weight system now, that's going to make things even more complicated for them if they're doing, you know, how much something weighs, how much weight you can carry. I mean, yeah, that makes it a lot more interesting in that you have to really think about what you're carrying, as opposed to, I just have stacks and stacks and stacks of this resource. I'm also thinking about the fact that even though it makes it more realistic in certain ways, I'm sure some people are going to just end up hating it. This will end up being a case where there'll be some people that say, yeah, I want my old, you know, game style back because this sucks. Alright. But yeah, today's stream is going to be a lot of harvesting stuff. I did not finish getting everything harvested. It took a little while. And plus, I did get attacked a lot by some Zerats at one point. I had to go back and do some repairs. And it's also a short stream today. I really probably should have canceled the stream because I'm going to be so pressed for time. But I do have to leave. It's going to be an hour-long stream because I do have one final musical gig for the year to do. And it's an early one today. So I don't get to play for very long. But we're at least still going to do some stuff, have a little fun with it. Play with our own Bumblebee. No lag issues with the changes. That's good, considering, you know, Planet Nomads has some major lag issues with some of the conveyor elements of it. I hope it's not that hard to get used to. I hope they iron it all out with the experimental and what everybody's giving them feedback on, because I really don't want to see, you know, it turn into like Planet Nomads but halfway. Like, it's not even as good as Planet Nomads. It's just, oh yeah, here's Planet Nomads, but it's like it's watered down. Now, not a matter if you don't get as much capability. It's more of a, they overcomplicate things. But again, yes, I'm staying away from experimental. I don't want to deal with the bugs like that right now. I get enough of that in Planet Nomads and some other games. Let's see. I wish they would add at least something for like the blob resource deposits like Prometheum. Give us the option to change the coloring on it. So like, I want bright green instead of blue, so I can see it a little bit more easily. Let's change this way. Oh, and now that we've got quite a few people in here, go ahead and mention it is updated on Discord. I have unlocked the channel for, if you want, you basically go ahead and start submitting now. Instead of leaving it to just the week before, go ahead, if you get your design done for the new creator challenge, you can submit it in advance. Little problem, little mix up there on my part. With the last one where a design was sent to me in a message and I forgot about it and it wasn't posted in the actual channel before this, so it got missed. I will rectify that. I will fix that and do a special video for that one. But to make sure that doesn't happen again, I've just opened up the channel so you can go ahead and start submitting now instead of having to wait till the week before. And the challenge is going to be that what everybody voted on, a major majority voted on, we're doing a portable hover sentry type thing. A hover vessel that functions like a defense tower base. And I even put in some tips for you to consider in your design, because I have myself built a small custom one like that in the past. And used it for a short little while, so I know some things you're gonna need to think about, so I've put that in there. So you go ahead, if you come up with something well before the event, you go ahead and submit it. Just make sure it's in there. But try to make sure you submit the final design. Don't submit it and they'll be like, I've got some more work to do, and then you submit it again next week, because that's just going to fill up the channel list with a lot of extra submissions. Keep it to one submission with a picture, you know, one of the ones from the workshop, so we can see it. And that way everybody can go ahead and be toying with them a little bit beforehand too. Alright, so I see you're talking about new faction changes. So yeah, I've been saying we need some new adjustment. We need like a new alien species in there. Somebody else that we fight with. Like we were talking about last stream. Some kind of other challenge where you could choose which side to join, whether you join Xerax or you join this other group, having two different factions that you're, you know, are fighting with each other, and you choose which side you want to be on. Would be kind of cool. So having new factions, that's definitely a big improvement. And you've already made the Talon Guardians mad. So now it actually persists. If you kill a Talon Guardian, they're going to stay angry at you. That kind of means taking out the villages will be a little bit more of a effort in tact, and making sure you don't make them mad by destroying the wrong thing. Alright. Tons and tons of magnesium. I'm ready to get done with this planet and move on to the next one. While we're still doing this today, I'm getting everything. Yeah, okay. I think I've noticed with magnesium especially, I get more dust in my face on this, where it's hard to see through and, you know, aim everything right. What? There we go. Now I'm fixed. And new alien edition. That would be nice. So it is a rep system, okay. And mining and killing will also make them mad. Well, that's, I mean, that makes sense, since they're kind of like, if you relate this to the movie Avatar, you know, they're kind of like the blue people for the planets, where they're protecting the planet itself, the ecosystem, the wildlife. If they get the, you're saying they need to do some balancing with it. I'm sure, you know, that's always going to be the case. They're going to find more stuff even after they get 9.0 in the main branch. They're going to find other stuff later on to adjust with them. Once they get that tweaked right, where you have the different faction aspects of it, and you can gain or lose reputation, and it's going to add just such a great balancing act to certain things. Like, oh yeah, I need to, I'm going to need to go and get my rep up so I can go in here and mine in their area, so I can get supplies. Artificial horizon, that'd be nice to, I mean, well, technically I guess you don't really have to worry about orienting as much, because if you hold O down, it'll automatically balance out. But I would like to see some better adjustments to, like, how you can work with hover vessels in terms of, like, the mining ones. Be nice if they gave an option, like you have auto miners, which go at a certain speed. You can have a hover vessel auto miner that goes faster. It's not this fast, but it's faster. Have like a, maybe give the option for the drill turrets to be automated, where you could just turn them on and they go automatically, instead of it being, hey, let me, you know, manually control this one turret. Give an automatic option for it would be nice. Or, as we've said, I know previously, maybe the option of bundling turrets. where you can have maybe 3 turrets on one side, and all you have to do is take control of one, and then the other 2 will target the same location as that one. So you basically get 3 beams on one spot. Like, I have 8 drill lasers on the front, which makes it go very fast. So if I had that sort of thing in turrets, where the turrets would bind together and allow you at least, you know, 2 or 3, 4, whatever beams at once, all on the same spot, because they're all targeting together, and you can do it faster. Turrets will be a lot easier to use and work better. The reason I don't use turrets anymore is because they're so slow. I mean, they're more maneuverable in a way if you don't like having to deal with this sort of thing, but I'd rather have it where, you know, I like that speed. That's why I like hover vessels that maneuver well enough inside a little drilled out cavity, because this goes much faster. Rockets and plasma at the same time? I think we should be able, you know, mix and match our weapon groups. You know, you should be able to, instead of it being just here's 1, here's 2, maybe have it where you can say here's 1 and 2 combined, and you can turn on both your like rockets and plasma together and choose to fire them all at the same time. I would like to see a fix to capital vessel turrets, because the turrets, and this is the logical thing, this is, you know, from a logic standpoint, makes no sense. When you fire a plasma turret in planet atmosphere on a capital vessel, it says cannot be fired in planet atmosphere. So if you go to a moon that says no atmosphere, it still does the same thing. It says cannot be fired in atmosphere, because it's not a matter of it having atmosphere. It's a matter of they don't want it to be overpowered. And so you have planets and moons treated as they have atmosphere regardless. But really, it's not a matter of this has atmosphere. It's a matter of this is a planet playfield, and then you have the non-planet space playfield. And space, you can fire the weapons. Not in space, you can't fire the weapons. But, and here goes back to the logic part, if you have a hover vessel or a base with a plasma turret on it, on a planet or on a moon, regardless of atmosphere, it can fire. Is there really that big of a technology change between the capital vessel and the non-capital vessel versions that you cannot use them? And am I missing a blob? I can't see it. I don't see a blue blob anywhere. I thought I broke it already. I thought the deposit was done. But yes, I would like to see proper, you know, like if you don't want it to be overpowered, then just limit the usability of certain things for other reasons than saying it can't be fired in atmosphere. Not it can't be fired in atmosphere, and oh hey, there's no atmosphere on this moon, I still can't fire. But hey, here's a turret that is the same turret on a base, and it says it can be fired in atmosphere. I think those are right underneath me. I think. The drill lasers are being a little buggy, I've noticed, where certain times the blobs will not show when I'm like looking right at them. Guided missiles we technically have, it's just the homing missiles, homing rockets, you have to, you know, there's that delay that you have to wait for it to lock on, and then they don't turn very well. So if you've got a fast moving target, it may go right past the missiles, and just by dodging a little bit, the missiles then just kind of go off into the distance. It'd be nice if once they locked on, they could turn around and they have, I mean, as long as it's a certain amount of flight time, I could understand that. I wouldn't want it to be like, hey, guided missile, you just program in, attack this, and it'll follow it wherever. Because I'm sure the few people that do play PvP would probably be like, yeah, I don't want to be chased for, you know, 5 minutes by a homing rocket. Yeah, again, you know, if they want to do the turrets balanced where capital vessels are not overpowered like that, then just do something different with it. Say something specific about that technology. Other than it can't be fired in atmosphere, and then there's parts where there's no atmosphere and it still won't fire. Or that this turret can't be fired in atmosphere if it's on a capital vessel, but on a base or hover vessel is perfectly acceptable to fire it in atmosphere. I don't remember seeing anything about this plasma turret, or, you know, is weaker, but can fire in atmosphere. But this plasma turret is super powerful and cannot be fired in atmosphere. Beam direction or focus, I mean, it's still a question of, is there a difference in the power and the actual mechanics of how it's working? Is the plasma cannon on the base, the plasma turret, functioning completely different than the way it does for a plasma turret on a capital vessel? It's just to keep things from being overpowered, but I want a good logical reason for that, or they need to make it where you can do that. Just make it where you can fire your turrets from a capital vessel. Maybe give them like really restricted range in a planet atmosphere, so you have to be sitting almost on top of a, you know, point of interest if you're attacking it that way. That it? These plants are getting in my way too much. Alright, we'll go to this one. I have really cut way down on how much I have left to harvest, and I almost got stuck there. Yeah, see, like I said, you know, and like C-Note saying, there is a problem that if they say it's a temperature thing, planets, you can't do it in atmosphere. If you do it on a moon with no atmosphere, it gives you the same message. Right now, that's the, you know, reasoning is atmosphere. Well, the moons with no atmosphere get treated the same as if they have an atmosphere. And it's simply because of the playfield that they're being recognized as. If they just fix that part, like, oh, hey, here's a moon with no atmosphere, so you can fire here, then I would be completely content with it right now like that. I'd be like, okay, that's fine. Because it says atmosphere. None. So they fire. But here it says atmosphere, can't fire. Okay, I can accept that. I would be completely understanding of that. I just don't like it being like, oh, you can't fire because there's atmosphere, and then the map says no atmosphere on the moon. Alright, well, if that joke is lost on you because you're not part of the Discord server, then you need to get on the Discord server. Which I'm pretty sure most people in here are probably on the Discord server already. And again, I've already unlocked the creator challenge, so if you are wanting to do a Discord, you know, if you're not on the Discord server, you want to be part of the creator challenge, that's where you go. Join the server and submit your creation for the challenge on the Discord server, which I've already unlocked the channel for that challenge of the month. So you could, if you get done this week, go ahead and submit it. You don't have to wait till the week before. I'm just going to go ahead and start doing it that way, so I don't have any more mess ups like I did in the last one where I missed a design because it came to me in a private message. And for those of you, if you are in the chat with us or you're just watching this later, if you want to submit something for me to look at, possibly for a showcase, you need to send it to me in a private message on Discord. Not a YouTube comment, or anything like that, because YouTube got rid of the messaging option, so I can't send you a private message on YouTube. And the reason I like having it on Discord is I can save that person's Discord name, and if I've got something I want to point out before I do a video on it, or if I'm just giving them a review of it with some suggestions, I can easily find them and mention it back to them and like, hey, you know, this is what I found, and I know a way to get in touch with them. And it just makes it so much easier than trying to do it through YouTube comments. Yeah, get that little bit. There we go. Oh, I've already cleared it, I think. Ugh. My sinuses have been really messed up the last few days. Oh boy. Alright. That's enough. Not worth the extra little effort there for the last tiny little 2 iron. Oh, well then. There we go. Before we go any further, let's jump in. Come on. There we go. Let's see. So that's how much I've got so far from that. Let's see. Ah! Finally in the second harvest box. Nothing there. Yeah. I'll put some more ammo in. And, oh, let's see. That's stuff I gathered from one of the ships. Wait, did I miss something? Somewhere. I had thrusters. Oh, that's right. I already dropped those all off. Okay. I was getting a little worried. Like, where's all the thrusters I had? But that's right. I dropped them off at the capital vessel because I had to go back for repairs. That area around the drone base is still very active with Zerats and mechanoids and overseers and like they don't realize they've been beaten. I've taken out your base. Leave the area. And I know we like it here. If you like it, it is the Bumblebee, the HLN Bumblebee by Hulnar. Go check it out. It's definitely really good in terms of overall balance. I did add extra drill lasers to the front. It was actually more of the Gatling guns, I think, originally on it. And I just took some out and added more because I really don't use the Gatling guns in the front. Most of the time, I'm relying on the turrets. Your base would take too much work to get set up properly for a showcase? Dragon? What's so special about the base that it's going to take up that much time to prepare it? To set it up? Is it a buried base? Because if it is a buried base, there's a reason I don't worry about burying bases and doing showcases on them. Too much time to dig them out. The one thing I need to upgrade on my Bumblebee now, based on the troop patrols I've been encountering with it and the damage I took and how much trouble it was to kill those patrols. I need some better turrets on the back. I don't want to get rid of the current turrets on it. I've got the 2 minigun turrets. I want to keep the miniguns because that's faster firing rate, good for drones. But I'm thinking I want to add either a pulse laser or something like that to the back of it so I can have a little bit more damage capability. let's see. All right, there's a big chunk there. I've got that one there and that. Of course, these have to be spread out. Well, that's the closest one. We'll go here first. Overall, the Bumblebee works great. It's especially cost effective for what you get out of it. Doesn't take up too much room. Has a nice little, look to it, and has plenty of storage capabilities. A lot of drilling. Okay, so yeah, if you want to send me, like, tell you what, if you want to do a game save of it, if you're gonna, like, make a fresh game, load it in, set it up, and send it to me, I'll consider putting in a video that way. That way you're basically saving me the time of drilling it all out. Oh. Excuse me, sir. Oh, 2 of you. No, I can't have that. Alright, here we go. We'll see if this one works now. Like I said, I did have one restroom deposit that acted like the Promethean ones did previously, where I'd have like that 10% left and it'd be showing one blob that won't break. And what I ended up doing was digging all around it, found one spot where I managed to hit it just right and break it. So I think what's actually going on with these in some of the cases where this happens, not every case, some cases, is that it's treating as though there's some kind of layer around it that's preventing me from actually hitting the blob. And that's why I can't get that last little blob of Prometheum on some of these. And others, where I've actually gone and found, like, oh hey, here's no restroom, or I mean no Prometheum. It'd be like, is Prometheum here? But then you get to it and there's none. Like, it says there's a deposit, yet there's no blobs at all. It doesn't exist. It's marked for it, and it's something with the terrain generator that caused an issue. And I think I'm getting a little stuck here. What? Where? Turn. There we go. I think next planet I'm just going to dump all my auto miners out as I fly around exploring and let them do the work. The Biodome base. Hey, you got a platform that can handle 4 gigacores? That's a big base right there. If it can handle that many gigacores on it. Has anybody checked out? There's a design trending on the workshop now. It's a super massive space station. I can't remember the name right now, but one of the images says it's like over 300 meters in length, just in one direction. So I was like, that's interesting. I don't know if I could actually do a quick enough video to showcase it without that video becoming 30 minutes long. But I was interested in looking at that. Might be something fun to try and build at some point. Like, oh yeah, I'm gonna build this as my space station so I can dock a ton of big ships up here. And then spend a half hour walking to the other end to get to a different ship. Alright. Did I get it? I think I got it. I think I got it. There we go. Trying to get my orientation a little bit better. There. And down to Cobalt. We'll have plenty of stuff for the next planet. Hello, Grandpa's Gaming. Thanks for joining. I don't know if you can use the motorbike in the base, but yeah, Segway or having, big base, something like that. Maybe be a good opportunity to look at our creator challenge where we had people coming up with ideas for stuff that should be added in the game, like elevators. And some people had a an elevator design using hover vessels, small vessel type stuff. If you don't need an elevator that can fly up type thing, you just need like a cart to get from one point to another, why not do a small hover vessel that's embedded in like a subway car? There's a subway car that takes you to the other end. Or maybe even have a setup where it's a loop that goes around, so you can have more than one. I still would like to have something that you can have them call, like an elevator that actually, you say, hey, I'm up here on the top floor, come get me. I need to get down, come get me, kind of thing. Instead of the little anti-gravity elevator shafts. But having some kind of, maybe a, you know, tram system made by a hover vessel would be nice. As long as you're on the right end. And assuming if you're playing on a server, somebody doesn't, like, ditch it on the other end and you need it to get there. Hover train you use to fetch water. So you drive a hover train out to fetch water. You definitely would benefit from some kind of automatic transfer of items thing for like water generators to transfer into a conveyor system like we were talking about Planet Nomads does, so you could just have it pumping water back to your base without you having to go down there on a train just to go and get water. Lyft already did something like a hover vessel subway type thing. I don't build bases that big. If I use a base, it's to start off and get going. Then my capital vessel is the main thing for me until I find a place I'm just like, you know what? I like this planet. This is a nice planet. I'm going to build a little base here just for fun. Then I'll do that. But I'm not going to worry about having a massive base like that in this game. Planet Nomads, I have a massive base. It was a pain to build. And it's a pain to get from one end to the other. But my hover jet, my hover pack in Planet Nomads has a hover mode, so it can manage your fuel usage. Okay, so I'm actually back around there. There's the restroom deposit I was trying to find earlier. That one, it says there's 100%. But I even got out and looked. No blobs. Nothing there. It's just an empty deposit, but it says there's a deposit there. So I will have a restroom deposit I cannot harvest. That leads me back to here. There's that. So we'll head up north. We'll go up here. We'll get these. What is that? Defense 3 I didn't core. That's interesting. I didn't get that one. I think I got everything I needed. Or it was just... Maybe that's the one where I blew the turrets up. The whole arm piece broke off and fell. Because there was a few that did not function right in terms of the physics of structural integrity. Wireless transfer system? I cannot tell you. I know if it is like Planet Nomads, you're going to have some problems if you go too far. Of course, because they're doing it as a wireless transfer system, you may end up having no problem then, because you're not building continuous links together. Like Planet Nomads is conveyors, and then the wireless transfers, you have to be next to each other. So you can't sit there and just go, oh, hey, here's this. Transfer it 20 meters away and be fine. You actually have to build the conveyors for that. But if they're doing it completely wirelessly in Empyrion, you may not have as much trouble because they'll be able to say, oh yeah, you don't have to have 20 meters of conveyors connected. You just have to have it where it's within this range. And then it depends on how they handle the transfer from each segment of it, basically. Like if you have this spot and it transfers from A to B, does B automatically transfer to C, or is it like a point-to-point connection? You only can connect from A to B, you can't connect B to C then. Underwater bases, I think, work as long as you fill them in with dirt and then dig it back out so you create that air pocket. Assuming if they ever change the water physics where it flows properly, so like you dig out an area, water can flow into it, then underwater bases won't work unless they add in a pressurization type system, which people have asked about. Some kind of submersible base function, submersible vehicle would be nice. People want that. So if they do make it where the water flows correctly, hopefully they'll be adding that type of thing so you can have water that can be kept out by some kind of pressurization, or, you know, the force fields block the water from coming in. And speaking of water, I heard water flowing. Jet Set says he thinks it's point to point. So if it's point to point, like A to B only, I guess it depends on how you're going to do that. If you want to do like a long chain, that's obviously not going to work. You're going to have to do point A to point B and then go to point B and tell it to go from point B to point C and change it. So you'll have to have some kind of way to link from this point to this point. And you know, depending on how they interact it with like part of your base, because if you're looking at doing it for being an extension of your base to go to this point where you have water generators, you may have a problem with it. You might actually have to build all the way down there a base length, like a walkway that you have those points on, just for that to even be a consideration. It's probably not going to work where you can, if you have a really far off water generator setup, you're not going to be able to use it for that. Now, if you could go and I haven't seen what they're testing with that, so you can correct me if I'm wrong on this, but if you can have it where you go to the area where your transfer system is, where you're for that point, and you have it locked in where, oh yeah, if I come in range, point A is here at the water generators, here's point B on my small vessel. It's built into the small vessel, so I can come here and sit here for a minute and it automatically transferred all my supplies over to the small vessel. That would be nice. I don't think that's going to happen, but that would be nice. Just have a little transport vessel. All you do is go and collect everything from different places. You just go and fly up, say, okay, hey, I want to collect everything from that wireless connector there. And it does, and you fill up your containers and go back and then drop them all off. Once you get back to your capital vessel, just reassign it to the capital vessel transfer system. I don't think that's going to happen, though. More likely, I think, is what you're saying. They're going to kind of go in the same direction overall. Not exactly, but overall, like Planet Nomads does. Okay, so they can go... So it picks up at one point, drops off at another. So basically one direction is what you're saying, C-Note. And not the band. Not the music group One Direction, but like it will go from the water collectors to the base, but not from the base to the water collectors kind of thing. You know, if they don't want to go the same way as Planet Nomads, if they want to go different, it might actually be nice if they just have it where when you come in range, it can show like, hey, on your heads-up display, you've got a connector in range of the one on your base that you're at, or the one on your vessel or whatever. Or you can go to that connector and say, hey, I want you to pull everything from here. That would be nice, but that, you know, would mean a lot of interacting with it, and I'm sure some people want it to be automatic. So if it's like, okay, point A to point B, and then that point B becomes point A for the next connection. So it's like 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, 4 to 5. Then yeah, it would work going in that direction. But you can't go 5 to 4 and then 4 to 3. It would just go the one direction. Less of a conveyor system, I guess you say, more like a hopper. Like in Minecraft, it goes one direction in how it transfers items. Which will work nicely in terms of, you know, the logic of it. You'd have to treat things a little differently. You can't just connect and go either way. If you wanted to go in a circular pattern, be able to go both directions, you'd have to build 2 chains to go in those directions. Okay, so Wi-Fi signal icon lights up, lets you know, hey, you're wireless. You get online, check out the Galactic internet, you know, network, right? There's a free hotspot nearby. Quick, jump on it. All right, let's check here. I know that one's broken. That's the one that did not work because I've already been down there. And showing that one is stuck. That one is stuck. So there's those 2. There's 1, 2. It says 3 restrooms. There we go. Maybe that might also be one that was bugged. I can't remember if it was 1 or 2 of them were showing empty. We're going to go over here real quick. Unfortunately, yes, I do have to leave. As I've said, for those of you who came in late, I have one of my final music gigs of the year today, and it's an early gig, which is nice because I don't get home in the wee hours of the morning where, you know, oh yeah, the sun's going to be up in a couple hours kind of thing. Instead, I get home at a decent time, but that also means I have to go in and play at an earlier time, and unfortunately, I'm going to have to leave in about 20 minutes, roughly, so that means I'm going to have to call this short in about 10 minutes, so I can take Timmy out so he doesn't pee and poop everywhere while I'm gone, and then load my equipment as quick as I can and drive as quick as I can to get there. So we have a little bit more time. This is actually going to work out almost perfectly to finish this off. Oh wow, this one actually is showing. Okay, so I just missed this one for some reason. Probably because I've got angry people all around me over here. Link on the workshop. If you want a showcase, then you need to send me a message, Toby T. Direct message to me on Discord. If you want to just post it, I can't remember how it was set up because other people have been managing the Discord for me for the most part. So you might have to be given permission to start posting on that channel, but there is a workshop sharing channel if you want to share your design, but I do not pull from there for showcases or for reviews. And showcases are you can ask for the video, but if I look at it, I don't think it's quite there for a video. It's not exciting enough for me. I'm planning to start doing some private reviews for some of you. But yeah, you have to send me a message. Or like I said, just post it in there if you want other people to take a look at it and, you know, tell you what they think, kind of thing. And yeah, just message Jet, say he'll take care of you. Let's see, almost done with this. I think, yep, I can still see the icon. Somewhere there is another, there's a blob. And there's more. Blob. Where's that last little blob? What? Am I missing the blob? Alright, come on. Well, I was wanting to get this done before I have to rush off. I don't see a blob anywhere. I'm gonna chance it. I'm basically sitting myself out here as bait. Oh, there it is. I guess I was sitting on it the whole time, which is why I couldn't see it. There we go. Good enough. And we have the last one. All I have to do is go collect that. It should be pretty much done. It should be pretty much out. I'm pretty sure this is going to be out of the restroom because that has been on there since I landed the capital vessel on the planet. I put that out there early off. I hope I don't have to drill this out. I hope this is actually done. It's still like trying to harvest stuff. Alright, come on. Update the map thing, because that's what it's done before. I can see the miner device. It still says that there's source there. I thought it would have been done because this has actually started like updating the percentage left as I, have moved away. But at the same time, it's okay. Make sure I'm not the only one seeing this. T3 Auto Miner. It's now showing a restroom deposit, which is this one over here that is empty. There's nothing there. So this is down to less than 10%, I would say. And yet it's still pulling items. It's still working. But it says that it's gone. It says like it's empty on the map, but it's still pulling stuff out of here. Alright, that's enough. That resource deposit is gone. And I missed that. There we go. So, finished. Done. This planet is over with. It's mining a parallel universe. It's definitely mining something. And it was somehow pulling a restroom from that something. Let me cut that off. That's very irritating. Oh, wait, what am I doing? I need to turn the other way so I can easily get my stuff out. Think. That. Yeah, there we go. Perfect. Almost. Okay. Let me get inside because I've got food stuff in one of the fridges. That, because I did gather some stuff while I was out. Oh, if you paid attention, there's tons of alien thorns all around the place. Oh, no, not the Nomad. I was inside this. Why did you not turn this off? I walked back inside. It turns that off instead. That's odd. But yes, I made a few little stops where I did get out while I was harvesting during the week. So I could get confetti moss scrapings, which there was a good bit of that. But mostly it was gathering alien thorns all over there. You had one that, as it emptied the ore, it auto-filled all slots instantly. Like, it put 1 in every slot, or it put, like, 999 in every slot. Because if I had that happen, I would have been like, yeah, sorry, guys. I'm going to let this run all night long. And come back to more a restroom than I will ever use. 999? Oh, wow. You got lucky on that. I would I never would have like ended the game at that point. I would say that's enough for restroom for me to build every design on the workshop if I let it go long enough. I had to make all the ammo I possibly want with tons of restroom gel. So let's see. We got a good bit of stuff there, and that. So plenty of stuff. We'll see if I can get all this tossed out really quick before I have to call it an end. We're cutting it down to the wire. I still hope we get auto sorting soon. So I can just be like, hey, here's my restroom. Just dump it in the right place for me. I don't have to worry about doing all this. Not very much in the way of promethium on this planet, unfortunately. A lot of magnesium. Oh. And my cobalt. And some copper. God, you lucked out if you're getting 999 on every single slot. As soon as you emptied it out, I would just, like, yeah, I'm just going to keep harvesting. I'm just going to fill up my inventory, dump it. I would have had everything full of a restroom. I absolutely would have had more restroom than I would ever possibly need. And then I go and try to do the same thing with Zascosium. Now I don't know if I mentioned this last stream, but I did cheat a little bit. I copied my game and took off with my small vessel and flew a few a few planets away. I went and explored some nearby planets. I went to Corodessa and had to go to another one and then go to another one before I found a planet that actually has Zascosium, and I know where I'm going. That's where we're going next. We're going to go so I could get a restroom. I mean, Zascosium. And the funny thing is, that planet not only had Zascosium, it also had a restroom available. So I was like, okay, I'm going to go here and have more a restroom and Zascosium again. So I'll be able to get plenty of stuff. Hopefully be building out everything soon. So my plan is, as long as that next planet has what I need, and now we've got a meteorite finally coming in. That next stopping point has what I need to get enough supplies, and hopefully, you know, like, hey, here's some meteorites of Zascosium. I will be probably building my new capital vessel with the next planet. I'm gonna go ahead and be loading everything up for a new capital vessel, and I've got it down to 2 that I want to use because they'll carry a lot of different ships, so I can try a few different designs and just see what I like playing with. Instead of build a design and quit using it, then build another design and quit using it, I can actually have multiple designs, but I may also consider going with a different one, just to keep it restricted to what designs I use in the end. Make sure I didn't have any more stuff on here. Yep. There we go. Alright. So yes, that will be it for today's episode. Like I said, unfortunately, I had to cut it short because I now have an hour and a half for an hour drive and 20-minute setup time to go and get to a performance. So I've got to run, take my dog Timmy out so he doesn't pee and poop everywhere, and then get going. But thank you for hanging out with me. Again, the Creator Challenge is actually open for submissions. If you want to go ahead and get started on that, it's a hover vessel designed to be a portable defense turret, like a turret style base. And I did post some suggestions on things to consider when you're building these, because I built one myself long ago in the past. So there's some things that will help you out, make your build a little bit better if you consider your power consumption, how you do some things like that. Oh, and another meteorite coming in. I could just stay here and get more restroom, but we won't do that. Next live stream, we will be going to a new planet and getting ourselves set up with the final like in-game type builds going. So that's it for today's stream, and that's all the info for that stuff. Thanks for hanging out. I will see you guys next time. Of course, you know me, I'm Mr. Spicy, and I'm still gonna try to push 5 videos again this week. I'm pushing for it, But yeah, I'm trying to get some more stuff done, and I keep blabbering on. So thank you guys for hanging out. I'm Mr. Spicy as always. I will see you guys next time.